What's up everybody, it's Laudvekky here with another video lesson for you. And in this video I'm going to be building up on arpeggios and triads. I'm also going to be talking about shapes and how to practice arpeggios, so stay tuned. So in the previous lesson we talked about triads and arpeggios. Alright, and I made mention that triads are the simplest chord that there is. So when you break them down into individual notes, you have your arpeggios. So from arpeggios you can relate them to triads. Okay, so if we have our triad, our G major triad, which is that, okay, and the arpeggios, the corresponding arpeggios are that. Now if we add the seventh, which is the T in major in solfa notation, all right, which is also the third or the fifth, the major third of your fifth. Okay, if you add the seventh, then you have, depending on what seven it is, okay, you can have a major seventh or a minor seventh. So recall that in the major scale, the 1, 4, 5 are major and the rest are treated minor. Alright, so if you have a 1 and you add the seventh, then that's going to be a major seventh that you're adding because it's a major note. Okay, then if it is a 2, we know it's a minor, and so it will be a minor seventh. So if we take the 1 for instance, okay, and we take the triad and we add the seventh, then the arpeggios become, okay, so because it's a 1 and it's a major in that scale, that becomes the major seventh arpeggio. Alright, so since the arpeggios correspond to a particular chord, this corresponding chord becomes what? The major seventh chord. Alright, so there are 4 notes in the arpeggios now, which means we expect 4 notes in the chord. So what happens is on the bass we usually omit the fifth and play the 1, the third, and the seventh. Okay, so we shift the third to the octave so we can hear it better, so that becomes, alright, so the major seventh chord, the G major seventh chord, because I'm in the key of G and it's a 1, becomes that, consisting of the 1, the major seventh, and the third as usual. Alright, so we are just building on triads to get more chords. Okay, so we have the G major seventh here. Okay, so if we move to the second, in the G, the second is the A, and it's a minor, which means the corresponding seventh will be a minor seventh, and the corresponding chord becomes a minor seventh chord. Alright, so the arpeggios of the minor seventh will be, okay, so this is the minor seventh of the A. So since that is the minor seventh of the A, then the corresponding minor seventh chord becomes, alright, consisting of the A, the G, and the C. Alright, or in solfa notation, the Re, the Fa, sorry, the Re, the Do, and the Fa. Alright, so major seventh, minor seventh. You realize that a major seventh has this shape, okay, and a minor seventh has that shape. Alright, let's look at a third. When you go to the third, is the third a major or a minor in the major scale? It's a minor, which means definitely it has a minor seventh, and the corresponding chord is going to be a minor seventh chord. And so what do we have here? We have as the minor seventh arpeggios, alright, the third, the fifth, the seventh, and the ninth. Ninth here becomes the minor seventh of the third, alright, which means since we usually omit the fifth, which is that, okay, we're gonna have something like that. Alright, so we have, this becomes what? Our minor seventh chord on the third, and the third is a B, so that becomes a B minor seventh chord. Okay, so realize that the second has the same shape as the third. Why? Because they are both minors. All right, let's take a look at the fourth. Now in the major scale, is a fourth a minor or a major? It's a major. Okay, so we expect that it looks like the one, the shape looks like the one. But let's take it from the points of arpeggios again. If we add the major seventh, it becomes. All right, so this here, the third here, is the major seventh of the 4. Okay, the corresponding chord will be made of the 4, that which is the major seventh, and the third of the 4. All right, so we have, so realize that the shape looks exactly like that of the 1, which is, so in bass playing you can just transpose shapes around so long as you know the relationship between that note and the scale. All right, so on the 4 we have that. Okay, so this becomes what? The C. The C is the fourth of the G, so this becomes the C major 7. Okay, so when you go to the fifth is definitely a major, and so we expect it to look like 1 and 4. All right, and the arpeggios are. All right, now take a look at the fifth, major 7th, and the third. So then when we go to the 6th, okay, now what will be the arpeggios of the 6th? All right, so the 6 is a minor, so you expect it to take a minor shape. All right, then when you go to the 7th, it should also have a minor shape. So the 7th, the 6th, and the third of the 7th. All right, then you go back to your 1. So basically those form the 7th chord of the major scale. All right, so again on the 1, which is a G major 7th, on the 2, all right, notice the shapes. So this is an A minor 7th, on the 3, B minor 7th, on the 4, C major 7th, on the 5, D major 7th, all right, and then on the 6th, E minor 7th, on the 7th, F sharp, all right, minor 7th, and then back to the 1, G major 7th. Realize that in the chords or even in the arpeggios, all right, if we leave the last 2 notes and then we focus on just the root and the major thirds, okay, you realize they form a very basic shape. Okay, so for the 1, this is the 1 and its major third. When it comes to the 2, this will be its minor third. This is for the major, and this is for the minor. So this is a major third shape, and this is a minor third shape. It's as simple as that. Okay, a major third shape, a minor third shape. Okay, so if you have a major third shape, all you have to do is what? Shift a semitone down to get a minor third shape. Okay, and recall, if you play two notes together, it's called a double stop. It's not a chord. Okay, it's a double stop. So if you shift this to the octave, all right, so let's say so it's the same G here, so this a major third shape, okay, this a minor third shape, so that will be the second. So the second will have the shape, the third will have the same shape because they are both minors. Okay, then when you come to the 4, it will have what? A shape of the major. Alright, and the 5th, okay, and the 6th, 7th, then back to your 1. Okay, so you realize all major shapes are the same, and all minor shapes are the same. So the majors are, okay, they have the same shapes, and the minors, okay, so you might have heard these things around. Now that we know what arpeggios are and what their corresponding chords are, how do you practice arpeggios? So in this last section, I'm going to introduce one basic way of practicing arpeggios, and in subsequent videos, I'm going to share other ways of practicing arpeggios. All right. So introduction to practicing arpeggios. When practicing arpeggios, it's advisable to extend them to the last string, that is any string that is available. If you have the arpeggio on that string, then you practice up to that string. Okay, so for this one, this is the arpeggio of the triad. Okay, but I still have and this here. Okay, so even on this string, going to leave this string out for now. Okay, so also when practicing arpeggios, you can practice them this way. That's for the 1, for the 2, for the 3, for the 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alright, those are the arpeggios. Okay. You can practice them that way with a metronome, always practice with a metronome, but it's always advisable to practice along the fretboard. Okay, so that is the 1, the arpeggio for the 1. Okay, so for the second will be for the 3, for the 4, 5, for the 6, 7, and then 8. So take a metronome and practice them along the fretboard. You can also practice it in one position, always with a metronome. I've actually done a lesson on how to use a metronome, so check that out, and then practice them with a metronome. So again, for the 1, okay, for the 2, for the 3, okay, for the 4, 5, 6, 7, then 8, so I'll leave it here for you to digest. Practice, always practice with a metronome, and I'll see you in the next video. Hi fellas, if you learned something from this video, give it a thumbs up, share, comment, subscribe, and do check my other videos too. I'll see you in the next video.